So this week's episode of Garo Vanishing Line is a very different feeling episode, and for some people they're going to absolutely love it, and other people I could easily see hating it. Now for me personally, I was kind of in the middle. There's some aspects I really enjoyed, and there was a lot of aspects I was kind of a little iffy on, but overall I think this was a fine episode. But the intro content before you see the full picture of this new character, this girl, who seems a little out there, she seems a little too clumsy. I was kind of under the impression, I was like, is she like an insane whore, or what are they going to do with her? And then to kind of see where they took her character, basically, she kind of got wrapped up in supernatural mysteries, UFO, all these conspiracy theories, reading up into urban legends, which just so happens one of the urban legends she reads up on actually turns out to be true. So I do like the route they do take her character. It makes sense why she is acting the way she is. But for a good portion of the episode, I was just kind of watching, and we're focusing on Luke again, and Luke just seems like, it just feels so jarring for Luke to be there. To be fair, when Luke is around Sword, he feels awkward and out of place. But I think the main difference between Luke and Sword and Luke and this girl is that Luke and Sword, they feel like they've known each other for a long time, so you just kind of accept that this has probably been his life for a long time, him feeling weird and out of place, and he always wants to just leave and do his own thing. But then when you have an episode that is specifically focusing on a new character, and she's even more just weird and out there than our main character Sword, it definitely is a little drastic and kind of like different feeling than we typically have seen in Garo, and for some people that's going to be a make it or break it. And like I said, for me, I was kind of in the middle. I didn't love it, I didn't hate it, but I definitely had a fun time, especially by the time the final like 5 minutes kind of played out there, especially with that killer OST. Like, I have to say, the soundtrack for the series is just spectacular. They have all these different beats and just building up the tension throughout these fights, and I absolutely adore how they use music in this show. And I think definitely seeing the reason she is so weird because of her reading up into all these stories that her grandpa just gave her to help her pass the time, which just so happened to turn out to be true, at least one of them. It definitely gives the weirdness in the first half of the episode meaning to be there, but I definitely don't think this was one of the best episodes of Garo. Was it a horrible episode? Absolutely not. I think it was definitely a fun episode, but I don't think this is going to be one of the episodes that people are going to look back on for Vanishing Line saying, this is one of my favorites. At least that's what I feel here. But overall, for having a Luke episode, I love Luke as a character. He's one of my favorites in this show. I might even put him as my favorite male character in the show. Seeing his fight choreography once again was definitely fun. Like, I really don't think we necessarily saw anything with his character that was that amazing in comparison to some of the stuff that he's had in his downtime moments with characters like Sword. So hopefully in future episodes we'll get even more amazing just character progression for Luke. But as a kind of one-off story here, this was definitely fun, but nothing that's really a standout there. Nor did I really think the set location for this, I'm not sure if I'm the only one feeling it, but I thought the set location for this town, it felt a little weird, like just the way they stylized that town felt very out there, but I think it definitely kind of matches the weirdness of the characters we're focusing on. So maybe that was done intentionally, but overall, like I said, this is a fun episode, nothing really that groundbreaking or amazing, but I think as long as Garo can keep the episodes at the very least fun, I think these one-off adventures are fine. I mean, Garo has one-off adventures. It's not just every episode moving the plot forward. Sometimes we do have these weird characters interacting with horrors, and this horror just happened to be a Makai Knight who then turned horror, and that's pretty cool. I think definitely the horror design and the fight choreography was definitely amazing. I just hope that maybe in the future, some of these more one-off adventures are going to be just a bit more complex than what we saw here, but still, I had a fun time. But let me know your thoughts. Did you enjoy this episode? Did you absolutely hate it? And what did you think of the return of Luke for this week? Let me know your thoughts. And before you leave, smack that like button to show your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.